Good day, students. Today we're going to look at a solution to one more of your practice exercises. This is number 2, exercise K on page 29, found in chapter 6 of book 3 of your Math 1025 booklets. And it's asking us, for each expression, remove the brackets using the product of power rule and then simplify. Write all answers with positive exponents. Now I've left the 3 steps that they encourage you to do from your booklet. And they are, first step, remove brackets by multiplying out exponents. That's what they refer to here as the product to power rule. Okay. Move terms with negative exponents from numerator to denominator to make all exponents positive. And then combine terms in the numerator or denominator, add exponents, and so on. Now these 2 steps really can be reversed. You can do that order if you want. But here's the order I tend to do it in, is the order we have here. So let's get rid of that and look at how we tackle this problem here. So let's look at the very first step. Now I see brackets here with an exponent outside. So the first thing I'm going to do is get rid of those brackets. Okay? Now, so I have, the very first step would give me 3x to the negative 2y to the 4. No change in that. I want to get rid of these brackets first. So of course you know the product rule for power. Power raised to power, you multiply. So I'm going to do x. Now negative 2 times negative 1 is positive 2. And y to the power of 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. And the denominator I'm not going to change in the first step at all. 12x to the power of negative 6, y to the power of positive 8. So there's my first step. Now, I have choices here. I can combine, like I said, the order of those steps vary. I can combine now like terms in the numerator or denominator if there's more than one like base, and then I can move them, or I can move them all now and then combine. Totally up to you. So let's combine ones that are in the numerator. So I see x to the negative 2 and x to the positive 2. See that? X to the negative 2, x to the positive 2. Now what are you going to get with x to the negative 2 times x to the positive 2? Well, when you add, you're going to get x to the negative 2 plus 2, which is x to the 0. And we know anything raised to the power of 0 is a 1. Okay, so literally they're going to disappear. Now I won't make them disappear in this step. Okay, I'll write it like this. So let me get rid of that down there. I'm going to write it like this first. I'm just going to say, well, 3 stays the same if we want. And I'll say x to the 0. I'll leave that there. Now, do you see what the exponent is for the 2 y's when you combine y to the 4 and y to the negative 5? So it's going to be y to the 4 plus negative 5. When you multiply like bases, add your exponents, which is y to the negative 1. See it there? So that's going to become y to the negative 1. On bottom now I have 12x to the negative 6, y to the power of positive 8. So what happens in the next step? Well, I start simplifying. Now I like to move, and again you can use the subtraction rule because we're dividing like bases, but I like to move anything that's negative and make it positive. I'll simplify x to the 0 to be 1. I'll also reduce 3 over 12 to be 1 over 4, right? So I'll reduce the numbers in front. See, I'm going to reduce that. And I could have done that in the previous step. Makes no difference. So I'll call that 1 over 4 for now. X to the 0 becomes 1. So there's a 1 right here. And I have, watch this now, the next step I'm going to write x to the positive 6. So notice I've taken this one and I moved it up because we know the rule about negative exponents. If I have 1 over x to the negative b, that's the same as x to the positive b if I move it up to the numerator position. And vice versa. If I have x to the negative q over 1, then it becomes 1 over x to the positive q if I move it down, right? So all I'm doing now is making all my exponents positive. Now I see another negative exponent right here. I'm going to move that down, right? So I get y to the positive 1. Now the y to the positive 8 doesn't move because it's already positive. So simplifying, now I'll get rid of my 1's. 1 times 1 is 1. I have x to the 6 on top over 4 times y. Now I can add my exponents here, 8 plus 1, because I'm multiplying like basis. So my final answer is x to the 6 over 4y to the 9. Okay, the next video will do a similar example as well. So hopefully that helps. That's it for now.